Vasistha continued. Though she had regained her former demoniacal form, Karkati remained in the superconscious state for a considerable time, devoid of all demoniacal tendencies. She remained in the same place, seated in the lotus posture of meditation. After a period of 6 months, she became fully aware of the outside world and her body. Immediately she experienced hunger. For as long as the body lasts, it is subject to its own physical laws, including hunger and thirst. Karkati reflected. What shall I eat? Whom shall I devour? Destruction of other living beings for the sake of prolonging one's life is condemned by wise sages. Hence, if while not consuming such forbidden food, I have to give up this body, I see no harm in it. Unwholesome food is poison. Moreover, to an enlightened person like me, there's no distinction between physical life and death. As she was reflecting thus, she heard an aerial voice say, O Karkati, approach ignorant and deluded people and awaken wisdom in them. This indeed is the only mission of enlightened beings. One whom you thus endeavour to enlighten, but who fails to awake to truth, is fit for your consumption. You shall incur no sin by devouring such an ignorant person. So there you have it. You either get enlightened or you get devoured. I suppose there's some truth in that, isn't there? You get devoured by samsara, by the consumer society. Consumer society, yeah. Hearing this, Karkati got up and descended from the mountain. She entered a dense forest where hill tribes and hunters dwelt. Night fell over the earth. In that region there was a king of the hunters known as Vikram. As was his custom, this king, along with his minister, went out into the dense darkness of the night to protect his subjects by subduing robbers and dacoits. Karkati saw these two brave and adventurous men who were just then offering their prayers to the tribal demigods of the forest. Seeing them, Karkati reflected, surely these two men have come here to appease my hunger. They are ignorant and therefore a burden on earth. Such ignorant people suffer here and hereafter. Suffering is the only mission in their life. Death unto them is a welcome release from such suffering, and it is possible that after death they will awake and seek their salvation. But it may be that they are both wise men, and I do not like to kill wise men. For whoever wishes to enjoy unalloyed happiness, fame and long life, should by all means honour and worship good men by giving them all that they might wish to have. Let me therefore test their wisdom. If they are wise, I shall not harm them. Wise men, good men, are indeed great benefactors of humanity. Vasistha continued. Having decided to test the king and his minister, the demoness Karkati let out a piercing cry and roared. Then she shouted, Hey, you two little worms roaming this dense forest, who are you? Tell me quick, or else I shall devour you. The king replied, O ghost, who are you and where are you? I only hear you. Let me see who you are. Hearing this calm and cool reply of the king, the demoness felt that his answer was appropriate and made herself visible to him. The king and the minister then beheld her dreadful form, and without being perturbed in the very least, the minister said to her, O demoness, why are you so angry? To seek food is natural to all living beings, and in performing one's natural functions, one need not be bad-tempered. Even selfish ends are gained by the wise by appropriate means and proper behaviour or action, after they give up anger and mental agitation and resort to equanimity and clear mind. So it seems that even the wise can have selfish ends, but they go about it in a way which doesn't harm others, apparently. We have seen thousands of insects like you, and have dealt justly with them. For it is the duty of a king to punish the wicked and protect the good. Give up your anger, and achieve your end by resorting to tranquillity. Such indeed is appropriate conduct. Whether one is able to achieve one's ambition or not, one should remain peaceful. Ask of us what you will have, for we have never turned a beggar away empty-handed. Karkati greatly admired the courage and the wisdom of the two men. She thought that they were not ordinary human beings, but enlightened men. The very sight of their faces filled her heart with peace. When two enlightened men meet, their hearts mingle in peace and bliss, even as the waters of two mountain streams mix at their confluence. Moreover, who but a wise man can maintain his calm while faced with almost certain death? Hence, she thought, let me utilize this opportunity to clear the doubts that are in my mind. For he is surely a fool who, having the company of a wise man, neglects to clear his doubts. So this is news. Karkati has doubts. She's supposed to have been enlightened and understood the intelligence within her, and through direct inquiry into the movements of thought, she's supposed to have realized the absolute Brahman, but she seems to have doubts, and she wants to take this opportunity to clear them up. At her request, the minister informed her of the king's identity. Karkati retorted, "O king, you do not seem to have a wise minister. A good minister makes the king wise, and as is the king, so are his subjects. Lordship and equal vision accrue from the kingly signs of self-knowledge. He who does not possess this is neither a good minister nor a wise being. If you two are men not possessed of self-knowledge, then in accordance with my inherent nature, I shall devour you both. In order to determine this, I shall ask you some questions. Give me the right answers. This is the only thing I ask of you." So she's starting with the assumption that the minister and therefore the king are not wise, and so she's about to test them. And this is all going to lead into quite a marvellous meditation on the Absolute, from which everything arises. Still, I think there is an interesting allegory we can take from this. If you're not involved in spiritual inquiry, that is, inquiry into reality, into what is real, then you get devoured by delusion, by illusion, and you might as well be dead in some ways. You're being dead to the realization of your human potential.